Y'all want to make some of the best cheese sauce ever? No, I say the best ever. I'm talking like you can put it on mac and cheese. You can start to make a cheese soup with it. You can turn it into a broccoli cheddar soup. You can let it completely cool off, or even when it's still hot, put in some Mexican flavoring, one of those taco seasoning mixes, and when it cools off, it turns into a dip you can bring to parties. It's one of those really, really good, one size fits all dipped sauces, and there's no flour in it whatsoever. This is one of those recipes that you might want to take to the grave with you because it's just that good. Here's everything that you will need to make it as far as food goes. I have to use heavy whipping cream because my husband is not allowed to have regular cow's milk. I suggest using whole cow's milk or some alternative or even half and half if you're just really not into that whole diabetic thing. But if you want to be truly more keto and lower your sugar just as much as you can, this is how you do it. And you have to have extra sharp cheddar cheese. You cannot use anything else because it'll just get watered down too much. So you have to have extra sharp. This is 32 ounces, also known as 1 quart. This is actually 2 packages of ordinary, plain, generic cream cheese. And then you just mix them all together. Make sure you turn your stove top on low. Anything too high will burn the milk and dairy. You don't want to scald it. You want it just melted. That's it. So nothing higher than this. Or if you have gas stove, the lowest flame is fine. Okay, also make sure you have a decent size whisk to break up the cream cheese lumps. Come on. Alrighty. Have to cool that down. There, that'll cool it down a minute. At this point, you just want to break everything up. Just get the cream cheese melted, break up in little pieces. The whole rest of the recipe is basically just melting the cheese and getting rid of the lumps and using the whisk to do it and letting the heat make it soft enough so that when you're stirring, it'll break up any size lump. That is the goal with this. Even when it comes to the cheese, that's basically all you're going to be doing. Let's soften up a little bit. Now, normally, you could shred the cheese. If you don't want to ruin your knuckles, your nails, or bother even finding a cheese grater, which usually I don't. I mean, I rarely use that shred function for anything. If you're feeling a wee bit lazy, which is normally what I am, you just grab a knife and just start slicing thin. It's a very soft cheese, this version from H-E-B, so the whole goal is just to melt everything. That's it. Just keep melting, stirring, melting, stirring. So we're going to leave it a little bit short on the... Okay. Just keep chopping. We're just here to melt and chop, melt and chop. The whisk is mostly to break up all cheese particles to make it smoother than a baby's bottom. A touch of kosher salt. It'll go good with the sourness and the cheddar cheese. And to emphasize that flavor, just a dash of garlic. It doesn't need much. This really is a taste as you go type of thing. And even though you don't need much, use a little bit more than you think for ground mustard. It will be just a trace flavor in the background. It really emphasizes the sour nicely in the cheddar cheese. Just regular, ordinary dry mustard. If you need more, add more. If you need less, be careful. This would also be the part where if you wanted to make the Mexican version with the taco mix flavoring, this is when you'd add that in. I suggest 2 packets because there's quite a lot of volume here. Cheesy.
You will start to see me use small little like shaky stirs. It really helps break up the clumps.
Cheesy.
Isn't it gorgeous, darling? I think I did add a little bit more salt and definitely a little bit more dry mustard just to give that nice sharpness to it. But this is what its gloriousness looks like, just the plain version. Now you can still zhuzh this up any way that you want, but this is just the basic starting point.
Gorgeous, isn't it? Yes, it needed more garlic. Yes, it needed more dry mustard, but I'd lick that off a brick. It's way better than any other cheese sauce because it's just so extra cheesy and no flour, so it won't make you bloated. It does have some benefits. Has that perfect type flavor to it.